Daniel Weaver never believed in ghosts. That changed the night he moved into Holloway House. The mansion had stood abandoned for decades, its history shrouded in whispered rumors. The previous owners had vanished without a trace, leaving everything behind. The townfolk avoided the place, claiming the walls spoke at night. Daniel dismissed the stories as small-town superstition. The price was too good to pass up. A house this size for so little? He couldn't resist. His first night was uneventful until exactly 3:13 a.m. A whisper stirred him from sleep. Daniel, his blood turned to ice. The voice was faint, barely more than a breath against his ear. He shot up, heart hammering, but the room was empty. The house settled with creaks and groans, and he told himself it was just the wind. But the next night, it happened again. Daniel, help me. The voice was clearer, closer. He sat frozen in bed, ears straining. The whisper came from inside the walls. A slow, rhythmic scratching followed. Daniel grabbed a flashlight, moving toward the sound. His fingers trailed the faded wallpaper. It was cold, too cold. A sense of unease twisted in his gut. The scratching intensified. Something was inside the wall. His breath quickened. Rats? No, this was different. More deliberate. Gripping a crowbar, he hesitated before wedging it into the wood. The boards splintered under his force. Dust filled the air, and then a hand fell out. Daniel staggered back, bile rising in his throat. The remains of a woman were curled in a hidden cavity, fingers still clawing at the wood. Her mouth hung open in a silent scream, sockets hollow and dark. Then the whisper came again. You found me. Now join me. A blast of icy air engulfed the room. The candle he had lit flickered violently before extinguishing. The walls groaned as the shadows deepened, stretching unnaturally. Something moved in the darkness, a shape barely distinguishable, a woman. Her limbs jerked unnaturally as she crawled from the hole, her head twisted toward him, bones cracking and her empty sockets fixed on his. Daniel bolted for the door, but it slammed shut on its own. The whispers grew louder, overlapping in a maddening chorus. He belongs to us now. He belongs to us now. His body seized, his limbs stiffened against his will. A cold, unseen force gripped his wrists and dragged him toward the open cavity. He thrashed, but it was no use. The last thing he saw was the skeletal woman grinning, her jaw unhinging wider than humanly possible. Then, darkness. By morning, Holloway House stood silent again, except for the whispers in the walls. And now they had a new voice.